Hello everyone, it's me, Juan, give me 54-minute video, and today, we're continuing off with the cross-channel series, where basically we're basically doing an analysis between both Fazbear Frights books as well as Tales from the Pizzaplex stories as well. This time on the block, we're going to be tackling Dance With Me, which is the second story of Five Nights at Freddy's Fazbear Frights number 4, Step Closer. We already did Step Closer on the other channel, so be sure you check it out. And yeah, we're going to be tackling Dance With Me. So if you guys haven't read it, firstly, you can go get the book. Pretty sure it's available online through your Apple Store or Google your Google Play, your Google Books. But if you guys don't want to spend money, I actually in my second channel I actually have a playlist where I do read throughs of all the stories of Fazbear Frights and Tales from the Pizzaplex. So yeah, be sure you check that channel out. Maybe subscribe to the second channel. Maybe. Thank you. And yeah, without further ado, let's go. So what is Dance With Me? Well, Dance With Me starts like this. Kelsey, our main protagonist, had grown up with a mother who cared more about partying than caring about her daughter. So already, this mother deserves a slap in the face. To be honest, I'm sorry, but it had to be said. When she was a teenager, her mother got a new boyfriend with a steady job, but didn't want to spend money on a teenager. He claimed he had moved out of his parents' house around Kelsey's age. So, guess what the mother did so reasonably with a man who, let's be honest, that relationship was never going to end well. Yeah, Kelsey got kicked out before her 17th birthday. Her teachers begged her to stay in high school since she had solid grades and could get the college scholarship due to being an athlete, but she needed the money. Kelsey jumped between dead end jobs and was constantly moving between apartments and friends' home. One day she saw a $20 bill left alone and took the money. Kelsey began stealing more and was eventually patrolled by two men in a street festival. The men, Jack and AJ, were thieves that wanted to make Kelsey part of their team, since they were willing to share their knowledge of how to survive on the streets, and she agreed to join them. So, yeah. Already, I wish that we had a story about Kelsey's mother so that she gets horribly, attacked by the animatronics. Because how the hey how are you going to follow a man's advice that, oh, he moved out, I moved out of my parents' house when I was her age. I don't want to spend money on a teenager. Like, seriously, like, am I the only one who thinks, like, that relationship is not going to end? But whatever. And it's like, if, say that relationship ends, like, say that man goes and finds someone else, who is Kelsey's mom going to come to? Her daughter? Pfft, you already kicked her out. You're going to be alone. But whatever, okay? My hatred towards her aside. Let's continue. One night, Kelsey and Jack spot a woman and her two young children standing outside Circus Baby's Pizza World. While waiting for the right moment to strike, the woman put her daughter's goodie bag in her purse. Kelsey quickly steals it and returns back to the abandoned warehouse, passing as their home. She finds $87 and two credit cards, and they split the money amongst themselves. While Jack and AJ party, Kelsey stayed behind and looked through the goodie bag, finding a pair of cardboard glasses decorating a picture of a robot ballerina, and that we know is Ballora. Putting them makes her feel dizzy, and she puts on the glasses in her jacket for later. Feeling guilty about stealing from the kids, the next day, Kelsey used her share of the money to eat at a nearby restaurant. She decided to take a walk in the park and look at the cardboard glasses again. Finding a tiny slip of roll-out paper taped to the glass, left earpiece reading, "Put on the glasses and Ballora will dance for you." Kelsey feels the same dizziness from before, but with the sun out, she sees a beautiful hologram of Ballora doing a carillonnette. You know, that thing where, ballerinas like have their palms touching each other as they spin around. Yeah. She was feeling a little sadness and regret, and eventually begins to feel sick and takes them off. Kelsey knows Jack and AJ, but they claim, I mean, Casey shows Jack and AJ. My bad. but they claim that the glasses only make everything blue. She tests them and sees Ballora, but quickly takes them off after feeling dizzy and uneasy. After buying a ton of food from the gas station, Kelsey takes another walk to the park, unable to get the image of Ballora out of her head. She put on the glasses and knows that Ballora's platooning makes the fall leaves fly around her, and she's getting closer. Since it's Friday night, Kelsey, Jack, and AJ wait outside clubs. While the guys target a few bars, Kelsey waits outside a dance club until a girl in a pink dress comes out with her boyfriend. She uses the scissors to cut the pink dress girl's purse free, accidentally cutting into her skin. Kelsey runs into the warehouse, feeling incredibly guilty. The next day, she spots the leaves swirling and confirms it's Ballora. Jack put on the glasses again and sees nothing, and he throws them away to make Kelsey feel better. They decide to use the other credit card they stole at Walmart, but as they were heading towards the bus, Kelsey retrieves the glasses. The credit card is declined, and they had to head back to the warehouse, empty-handed, as Kelsey spots the leaves at the park again. That night, the three go to the train station. However, just before Kelsey can grab a wallet, Jack pulls her away and informs her the police are here. Back at the warehouse, Kelsey reaches in her jacket pocket for warmth and feels the glasses. She panics and runs outside, put on the glasses on, seeing Ballora again under a streetlight. Kelsey worries what will happen if Ballora keeps getting closer and wonders if fleeing the city where she stole the glasses will stop her. Once Jack and AJ fell asleep, Kelsey takes her belonging and her share of the money and buys a ticket to Memphis. She falls asleep on the bench and is accidentally waken up by an elderly lady. She apologizes and the two talk about where they're heading. After giving Kelsey some food, the old lady tells her that from her experience, whenever you're running away from ends up following you, and it's better to build up than burn bridges. On the bus, Kelsey sleeps excitedly on her fresh start. Once in Memphis, Kelsey finds a cheap hotel and quickly takes a shower. Walking the street, she comes across an old diner looking for an employee. She met the waitress and the owner, Jimmy. After only a few questions, Jimmy hires her and she gets to work washing dishes. The waitress she met, Brenda, is suspicious of Kelsey. One afternoon, Kelsey sees two $5 bills and, unable to help herself, takes half of the tip. She decides to only do that whenever Brenda is away. But one day she arrives at the diner and is confronted by Brenda and Jimmy. Kelsey keeps denying Brenda's claims, and Jimmy tells her that he'll keep an eye on her from now on. On the way home, Kelsey spots swirling leaves and decides to put on the glasses. When he sees Ballora closer than ever, she yells and causes a scene. That night, Kelsey has a nightmare where she's in a fancy theater and Ballora is dancing around, revealing banners that says, "Liar, Thief, and You." She wakes up and immediately packs up. On the bus station, Kelsey puts on the glasses and sees Ballora's ever closer. She promised to really start over in Nashville. Once in a new motel, Kelsey looks at a newspaper for jobs. She finds one answering phone calls that need zero experience but has nothing proper to wear on a job interview. Kelsey eventually comes across a store and finds a crimson dress with cream color flowers. Remember being told red was her color, she tries to use help from a saleswoman to determine her size. Remembering she needs better shoes, Kelsey finds tan flats but is unable to afford them. She hides the dress in her backpack, promising this is the last time, but when she tries to leave, the alarm goes off, and she spots hundreds of leaves swirling her outside. The salesman and the manager search Kelsey and find the dress, but before they can call the police, an elderly lady offers to buy the dress, since she can tell Kelsey is desperate. Kelsey thanks her and sits in the nearby park with tears in her eyes. She hopes this gets rid of Ballora, but when she puts on the glass, she isn't right in front of her. Kelsey runs back to the motel but sees Ballora scratching her window. She knows there's only one more option left and retrieves the driver's license of the woman she robbed outside of Circus Baby's Pizza World. Kelsey manages to meet the long-haul driver who was heading in the direction of the woman's house. And Kelsey sees Ballora's face pressed against the passenger side window. Once at the house, she knocks on the door and explains to that woman, named Sarah Wavery, who she is. Sarah is glad that Kelsey has returned what she's stolen and is trying to make amends. So she lets her in for tea. Inside, Kelsey meets the girl, Isabella, and returns the glasses to her. When Isabella puts the glasses on, she looks at awe at Ballora and starts to dance. Whew! Speed running, or rather speed reading, I guess. But anyways, so dance with me. I genuinely do like this story. It just like the tension is like building up. It's like every single time, that the leaves are mentioned, I was like, "Aw, snap. Balora's back, baby." But what do we take away from all this? Like, what do we take away from all this? Well, many things. Some new and some old. So let's just get to it, shall we? Firstly, I will say, since Ballora is not directly present in the story, she can be seen in glasses. It is implied, I think, it might be implying that the glasses seem to be connected to an illusion disc. Those tiny little things from the original novels trilogy, making it seem that Ballora is there even though she is not. Yet it's still unexplained how the glasses make Ballora interact with the real world. At the end, Kelsey gives back the glasses she stole from the girl and the mom early in the story. The girl puts on the glasses, but not only sees Ballora, but it seems Ballora has taken over her, making her dance ballet. Now, I'm not sure if this is the truth. Either it's just, Isabella just dancing with her favorite animatronic, or this is what's happening and Ballora was about to possess Kelsey, but she couldn't because Kelsey gave it to Isabella. So it's like, well, they're both girls, so like what's the difference? And just quote unquote possess Isabella. But again, it's unclear if it's just, Isabella dancing with her favorite animatronic, or is she actually possessed by Ballora? So Ballora seems to have a connection with Glitchtrap in some aspects. In this story, every time Kelsey wears the glasses, Ballora comes closer to her. Eventually, when she reached the final stage, she would take over the body. This is similar to Glitchtrap, hence due to the fact in Help Wanted, Glitchtrap comes closer to the player every time, eventually taking over us in one of the endings. So it's yeah. Uh what else can I say? There's also the fact that Kelsey felt dizzy whenever she puts on the glasses. This could mean that the illusion discs were being used in them, basically possibly making Ballora invisible. Visible. So maybe. It's possible to say the least. But another possibility is that Ballora's glasses use a similar technique to the Vanny network, Vanny with an I. But yeah, the same network that was used in Ruin. Ballora being able to manipulate and even change her surroundings while Kelsey is wearing the glasses is like similar to that to the entity's abilities. It is worth noting, however, that Ballora in this story has blue eyes, a, a trait only shared with Ballora from Help Wanted 2, which also has a protagonist that used the Vanny mask. So, yeah. Um, I will say that this story. I will say that this story is more. I will say that this story kind of draws the line in terms of Ballora and her connection to Mrs. Afton, because because most of the girls, and I'm pretty sure Matt Pat talked about this, but most of the women that you see in this story all tends about motherhood. It's like this whole story has been like talking about motherhood, like the themes of mother. We have Kelsey's trash bag of a mother. We have the mother of the mother of Isabella, who is caring, and Kelsey just admits that she was jealous about Isabella having a caring mom, and wish that her mom was not a piece of trash. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. I'm sorry, but yeah, like Kelsey wished her mom was sees that parting isn't as important than her. Like, she wouldn't choose party over her, you know? The elderly lady giving advice to Kelsey in the train, and the other elder lady who offered to pay the dress when Kelsey was, caught red-handed. So a lot of people think that this story is trying to draw us the connection that Ballora and Mrs. Afton have to be connected because of motherhood. And while I'm not exactly sure what Ballora is now, because back in the day I thought, yeah, Ballora must be possessed by Mrs. Afton because it just makes sense. I mean, if Michael got his insides replaced by innards, the crying child becomes Golden Freddy. Elizabeth becomes, Circus Baby, and then Scrap Baby, and then William Afton. Do I need to explain William Afton? He becomes Springtrap. So it would make sense if Mrs. Afton also shares the same fate of animatronics, and she is either possessing Ballora or, well, basically possessing Ballora. Again, it's not really confirmed whatever happened to Mrs. Afton, and it's surprising to me that we never got we don't really get a confirmation on what happened to Mrs. Afton. Maybe, I don't know, maybe somewhere along the line we get a FNAF game where we actually see what happens to Mrs. Afton, or better yet, we play as Mrs. Afton. Because I'll be honest, if we get the chance to see what happened to Mrs. Afton, I mean, shoot, people are gonna buy it because hey, we need to know what happened to, the mother of Michael, Evan, and Elizabeth. Like, we need to know exactly what happened to Michael's mother, or is there even a mother at all? Like, is it true that the Afton kids are just adopted and Mr. William Afton is just adopting just to keep face or something? Or, just tell us that Mrs. Afton really does got into a car accident like many people think she has. I mean, tell us something at least. Like, please, I beg. Like, I know this isn't a question that I would say I will sell my brother's soul just to know what happened to Mrs. Afton in the games, but I mean, like, you kind of have to admit this is an important question about what happened to Mrs. Afton. Because now people are even thinking that Mrs. Afton is somehow alive and is now CEO of the rebirth of Fazbear Entertainment. Or something like that. I don't know. I just feel like we need to finally have a concrete answer on what happened to Mrs. Afton. But yeah. Overall, I do enjoy this story. I mean, like, it keeps the whole building up to. It keeps like the whole suspension, not suspension, like the drama was building up and up, and it's like, it's like it's keeping you in the edge of the seat. Like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to Kelsey? Is she gonna meet a terrible fate? Is she gonna get possessed? What's going on? I mean, it's not over the top, but I really do like this story. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like the video so I know you guys enjoy. Comment down below what you guys think about Step Closer. Is it a good story? Be sure you also subscribe to my second channel because that's where the next episode is going to happen. And, that's also where I'm doing my read-throughs on it. And subscribe. We're trying to upload daily. This is Juan Commit 4, signing off.